So here is my review of Unicorn Overlord. It's kind of a real-time strategy slash turn-based strategy game. I would relate it to Ogre Battle March of the Black Queen from Super Nintendo more than I would say Tactics Ogre. So you can wander the world. The world itself actually reminds me of a game called Cat Quest because of the way the overworld is. And it's semi-open world. There is all of this region that you could play in. However, it's pretty level locked. It's kind of a linear path. You can technically choose any of these regions to go to, but on the difficulty I played it on, which is like Tactician, I think, or something, it was the hardest one available at the start of the game. I had to follow the story order because I was unable to even defeat enemies in the higher level until a certain point in the game. Then I got powerful enough in my level that I was able to branch out and start liberating areas in these other spots, but that doesn't really matter. It doesn't pertain to a review of a game, how I played it. Anyway, there's different things you can do. There's over 60 characters in the game, a bunch of classes. You can upgrade towns, and you can collect resources in the area to upgrade them. You can station one of your characters to gather those resources automatically for you, which will help you upgrade future towns. If you station a character, they are not unavailable to battle. But here's the delivery system. This is how most towns, they start off with requests to actually upgrade the town to where you can station a guard or go to a tavern or whatever. There's a provisioner.
Or maybe to sell.
The provisioner will provide you with provide you with items that you can use in battles or give gifts to increase relationship, which the relationship comes to play in the story, and it also affects how your units will fight with each other alongside other people that they either like or are new in their relationship with. Then there is also the armorer in most cities.
You're in the right place.
You can buy weapons, which beyond even just formations in your classes, you can equip items and stuff, which that goes even deeper, and I will show you that in a minute. But there are bigger towns where you can visit and go to the tavern, which will
to beat the heat, are we? Let me know what you need.
Increase relationships with characters that will dine on the food. Like, you can just pick any of them and they will go to meal. You can have the meal and it'll increase the relationship by however many points.
Shall we?
Delightful.
Eat while it's still hot. We've a little need for a heat.
Well, that was a gross noise.
Feel free to.
But yeah, that increases the relationship status, which in the overworld will allow relationship conversations, which will progress you and give you honors, which are used to unlock and upgrade units. You can also go to forts, or the bigger cities will act as a fort. And this is where you can expand your units. They start off with, you can put maybe 2 in a unit, then you can increase that to 3 and eventually up to 5. This was the armies that I beat the game with. But you can also hire units of various classes. You can dismiss, which I've never found reason to. You can do mock battles, and here's how a battle looks. I guess I'll defeat my own team with my own team. But the battles are autoplay. It depends on where your units are standing, what items they have equipped, what abilities you have to be the primary thing that they want to use. This is how the whole game plays out. You just kind of set them up,
I'm sure you can do it.
watch them fight, and they will do everything on their own.
I don't
Like, kill my own people. But that's how a battle plays out. You can watch them, or you can skip them and just see the end results. Before you go to a fight, it will tell you, like, how much damage you'll do to the enemy, and if it has a skull and crossbones, it means you'll defeat that enemy, and it also say how much incoming damage you have. Also in forts, you can promote your units, which... Oh, well, here's an example right here. We'll promote Millie. I thought I had them all promoted, but that'll change their class to the advanced class of what they are, which will help them level up faster and higher levels, give them new skills. And each skill has, I think, primary points and action points, AP and PP. I don't know what those stand for, but their abilities will use up however many points they have in that. Now let's go look at a unit. So you can go into your unit formations, and like I said, you can switch them around. You can dive deep enough to go pick whatever items you want for them. You can even go select what abilities you want, and you can go even further to why do you want those abilities to trigger, when do you want them to trigger, and so forth. I do the old optimize there and just kind of let them go with whatever they want. There was a few times where I had to go in and actually change what abilities they were using to help me win some of the battles, especially the last battle. Ugh, that last boss basically takes everything you've learned from the game and flips it on its head, and he's really difficult. And he heals automatically after every battle, so if you're not doing more damage than he heals, you're just feeding health to him through your other armies. And then there's the rapport between your units. You can actually see what stage of the relationship they're at, whether or not they have a conversation available. And you have your quests, which in this game there's main quests, side quests, overworld quests, liberation, treasure maps where you can find items. Then you can design your own logo for your army. Then here's like all the classes in the game. I'm not going to go through each one, but there's elves, there's bestrels, so this is what they're called. They're animal people. There's angels, and there's the standard humans. And then there's just all kinds of classes in the game. And then the advanced class of each one as well. The only complaint that I have here is the same complaint that I had with, with triangle strategy. There's not enough monsters. Part of the big draw of like Final Fantasy Tactics and Ogre Battle and Onimusha Tactics and those types of games are, I love when there's a large variety of monsters. So that was the one complaint I had about this game. Each class is cool, but I wanted something a little more fantastical. Did not take away from my game experience at all. That is just personal opinion. And then there is, for those who really like game tips, and probably things that would have prevented me from just hitting optimize if I actually took the time to read and understand how everything works, I'd probably do a lot better. But I thought this game was great. I was really happy with the time I spent in it. It's something different. Vanillaware, I've played a few of their games, and I always really enjoy them. Dragon's Crown was fantastic, and it kind of are going into a bit of a genre that I really love is turn-based strategy, although I will go to an actual battle here just to kind of show you what going into a confrontation is like. In the overworld, you'll see these flag type things. This is one that's available forever, so you can keep replaying it for experience. But you'll go into a fight, it'll give you your win conditions, your loss conditions, and then, as you can see, the game will go until you pause it, and that's when you can deploy your units. You can send them to go do whatever they have to do.
Unicorn militia fights. Who's my target?
They can move. You can also use abilities that will affect the game in different ways. Hurt enemies, heal units, buff you for a fight, damage units in the overworld, and then you unpause it, and it'll go. And like I said, you can either watch the battle, there's the results. They will do 0 damage to me, I'll do 212 to them. And you can also just skip the battle. Plays out a little animation. Done. You get your gold, get your experience, and the game will continue.
I never miss my target.
But if you want to see how your units are performing, what moves they're using and when, you can actually watch, kind of break it down a little more. But yeah, these obviously are some really weak enemies.
They're beaten.
But if you like turn-based strategy, if you like real-time strategy, if you just like strategy games in general, I would say that this is one that is worth the time to put into it. It has an okay story. Each character in the story, there's over 60 of them. They're all unique. They all have their own storyline, and you can go as far as you want into any of those storylines. And then there's a lot to come back to in this game. The battles, pretty entertaining. Just the whole game itself is a genre that I don't think is explored enough. It's always first-person shooters or battle royales or stuff. Those games, they have their place, but sometimes just a nice afternoon full of strategy is something I prefer. So if this looks up your alley, I suggest that you give it a shot. Unicorn Overlord. I played it on the PlayStation 5. It's from Atlas and Vanillaware. Great game.
A fine bout. Little bit of tricorn pride for ya. You face me.
One of the many benefits of old age.
I must never yield. I'm ready to eat.
Wow. Oh, please, have some.
A marvelous meal.
Feel free to drop orders.
Fine job.
Last. The legions of hell will be next to taste its egg.
Sorry for making you drag us along like that.
Another step forth. I must never yield. Victory grows ever closer. Victory grows ever closer.
What?